Hello, everybody. This is Question Mark, and it is the day before Thanksgiving. And you may be asking yourself, what's this? He's uploading a video that isn't right after a set release of just a box opening of a new set? What's going on? What happened? You've got a booster pack of Forgotten Realms? Why are we making a video today? There's no new set that came out, did there? Another one snuck up on me and I didn't know it? Some secret product? Yes, some secret product came out. Of course, what always came out? Secret Lairs. Secret Lairs going on non-stop all day, every day. I ordered a bunch of them months ago, and of course, as usual, they bill me like 6 months later, so it's like I bought all of these when I had money, and then they billed me when I didn't. But somehow I didn't go into the negative, and so they all shipped. And originally I was just going to open these and put these things into my collection and, start playing them and show them off that way. But I have a whole YouTube channel. I have subscribers, a few of them. And actually, you may be one of the people who brought here by Mr. B. Thank you to Mr. B for shooting a number of people my way to watch some of my content. I'm going to be opening these Secret Lairs. I have, and the booster pack that came with them, the set booster pack they gave me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Secret Lairs. I bought basically all of them from this group that came out during the summer, I guess. And I did start to open this one. I started to open this one. Right? But I saw something recently. So in the back of every one of these packs, in every Secret Lair, there's one bonus card. There's the ones you paid for, and then there's the one bonus card. And that one bonus card originally was War of the Spark Planeswalkers with the alternate, with the stained glass art. And those were fine, but they kind of outstayed their welcome. Then I started recently seeing these kind of like Leonardo da Vinci style blueprint cards. And those are cool. I got 1 or 2 of those earlier this year. I'm hoping to get some more of those. But what we've seen very recently was a reverse Viscera Seer. Reverse Viscera Seer with a gold foil in it that said number 77 out of 100. And this is the first time that Wizard of the Coast has ever numbered individual Magic cards. Like, every Magic card has a collector number at the bottom, but that doesn't mean that there are 137 Obsidian Charmas. Far from it. There are thousands, possibly millions. And even the same thing with these. There are thousands, possibly millions of these neat Phyrexians that we're about to see here. But of the reversed Viscera Seer, there are 100 of them, and that's it. And of the couple that I saw so far, they only came in the Phyrexian boxes so far. So while I was eager to jump into this, I tore open the outer part. I stopped myself before continuing and realized I should be filming this. What if I open number 76, or whatever number? If I open one of those Viscera Seers, I want it on camera. That's content, baby. So, but we're saving it to the end. Teasing, after all. So, we'll start with the set booster pack of Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, a set that I didn't buy too much of. You probably saw me open, I think, a set booster box of it. Or you could see me open it. It seems like a cool set, a good set, but I haven't had as much money lately, so I've been having to prioritize things a little more. But hey, we've got an art card of Mordenkainen, the Planeswalker that is based on the creator of Dungeons & Dragons, his main player character. No gold signature on this one, but that's okay. We got a foil Swamp. That is cool. Foil basics with any deviation from the norm are usually worth something. And in this case, Adventures in the Forgotten Realm, the deviation from the norm is that they have flavor text. Adventures in the Forgotten Realm is the only set that has flavor text on their basic lands. So, foil on that, probably worth a little something. This is the showcase frame that they used for this set, and I don't love it. Even though, Jeff D, love you, man, Jeff D. I'm a fan of your work from the atheist community in Austin, Texas. I used to watch your streams years and years ago. So I'm glad that you're getting work again. And from, my number one hobby company. Yeah, still, I honestly, the normal style of Magic art, I think, is really cool. I think it's solid. Grim Wanderer, great, wonderful, lovely. You meet in a tavern, cool. Prosperous Innkeeper, excellent. I need more of these cards. Prosperous Innkeeper is an excellent card. You don't often see like a 2-mana 1/1, like a random uncommon that ends up being commander worthy, but this is definitely commander worthy in my opinion. It gets you a treasure that you can spend as a form of 1-turn ramp. So if your commander costs 4 mana, this will help you get it out a turn earlier. And it's a repeatable source of life gain. So if you have a go wide strategy, then this is great. I would say that it's probably best in a not tribal go wide deck, because of course it is a halfling citizen. So if you have like a Saproling style deck, or maybe Reese the Redeemed, where it doesn't really matter what kind of creature it is that you're making lots of, then this is excellent. And really? Really? Okay. Set boosters are supposed to have 3 or 4 commons and uncommons that are on a certain theme, and then a handful more commons and uncommons that are on another theme. You can't... Prosperous Innkeeper and Prosperous Innkeeper are not on a theme. They are the same card. What the heck? Okay. Well, then the rare Westgate Regent. Ward, discard a card, flying, 5 mana, 4/4. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, so this is like a go tall vampire. I do have a vampire deck based on Edgar Markov, of course. Who doesn't? But I'm trying to go wide and also trying to cast as many vampire spells as possible. So this is not really on the menu. And then we got a foil uncommon that is pretty boring looking, and we got a token of a skeleton. Okay, so nothing mind-blowing there, but some bulk and stuff to add to my collection. So we will set that stuff aside and get into some of the fancy stuff. The first one that I've grabbed here looks like it's Dan Frazier is Back, the Enemy Signets. So I could have perhaps... Oh, and yeah, thank you for being a part of Secret Lair. So maybe I should talk briefly about how the packaging on these Secret Lairs is improved. They are much smaller and include a lot less plastic. I don't think I have one at hand right now, but yeah, these black boxes in particular were 2 to 3 times thicker. The white boxes, of course, were bigger to match. And so this means smaller smaller packages. Ah, neat. Okay. This is my first time opening one of these. Oh, and it opens this way. Aha. There we go. And this, I believe, is the only plastic in it. So we've got a Boros Signet here. Okay, Dan Frazier is one of the original artists for Magic the Gathering, all the way back to Alpha. And I believe he did the illustrations for the Moxen. So this is the illustrator of Mox Ruby and Mox Pearl coming back to do stuff like Boros Signet. And I play Signets in pretty much every deck I can. Oh wow, it is glued on there tough. I'm trying to put no pressure on the card. All the pressure is on the plastic here. And okay, and then the secret card is face down underneath it. But let's take a quick look at the cards that I actually paid for. The Signets. Because yeah, I play Signets in every deck that I can, as I was saying. And I do like this style, and I also like just having variations It's one of the main reasons why I play Commander, is so that I'm not seeing the same thing all day, every day, over and over again. And I got these in foil. Because Orzhov Signet in particular. Oh, wow. Oh, is it Signet with the Dragon Claws? Simic Signet's pretty cool. Golgari, the big bug. Boros, the shields, and the sword kind of thing. But the Orzhov Signet in particular. Woo! Wow. Okay. Yep, that's going straight in my Orzhov deck. Because I have an Orzhov deck that is specifically themed on the Orzhov Guild. So, Teysa is the commander. It primarily uses the Extort mechanic, which was a mechanic specifically from that set. Oh, yeah! Arcane Signet. Okay, I had heard about this, that the secret card in the Signet packs were Arcane Signet, which is excellent. I love the colors, how colorful it is. And, of course, I play Arcane Signet in almost every deck. I play it certainly in every multicolor deck, and I think I play it in some monocolor decks. It's just really, really good, and I'm going to love to have some of those copies replaced with these ones. Because there's 2 sets of Signets. So, I'm going to find out in a minute here if both of them have Arcane Signet in the back. I imagine they probably do. And if so, great. I normally wouldn't be super excited to get, like, duplicates of a bunch of things. But in this case, I'm absolutely going to play 2 copies of Arcane Signet if they give me 2 copies of Arcane Signet. So, I should find the other Signet here first. This is Artist Series, Mark Poole. I'm looking for Dan Fraser's back. Got Saturday Morning D&D, Mother's Day, Fiona Staples. Dan Fraser. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of these. Okay. And, I mentioned before that I like the standard Magic art style, but it occurs to me that I'm a fan of Seb McKinnon. I'm a fan of Rebecca Gay. I'm a fan of, a number of Magic artists that have a style that stands out. There's a new guy who did some cards in Crimson Vow that I wish I could remember his name. He did, I think, Vampire Fangs or something like that. I don't know. But those are the ones that stand out and that are memorable and that you can become a real fan of, specifically. So as much as I like the standard kind of Magic art style, I like when they deviate it from it even more sometimes, though. That can be real hit or miss. Jeff D, I love you, but your art style is not, what I prefer. Maybe I can... There we go. Okay. Okay. Ugh. I hate that these are a little sticky. That the plastic on the back is a little sticky. Ugh. Okay, get that out of the way. Okay. There we go. So we've got... Oh, yeah. You reorient here with what is the screen space. Okay. But yeah, Azorius Signet, beautiful. Demir Signet, kind of ugly, actually. Gruul Signet. Actually, this might be my favorite. Gruul Signet. I mean, Gruul really procrastinated on this one. They did not understand the assignment. They're like, what do you mean the symbol of our guild? We're just like a bunch of rabble-rousers. I mean, in terms of like mana, we're kind of green aligned and red aligned here. I got a green rock and I got a red rock, and I'm gonna lash them together, and there, ready for show and tell. Let's go. Hope you like it. Rakdos Signet, badass, amazing. Celestia Signet, pretty. Somehow a rock and a tree at the same time. Very pretty. But yeah, Gruul Signet. Like, whoops, that was due today? And then, yes, another Arcane Signet from the back. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Okay, well, put those back in the little box, and, you know, I'll recycle a lot of these external boxes later. And I'll just grab the next one here. Mother's Day. I feel like... Was it Mother's Day when we ordered these? Because, geez, Mother's Day, that's in March, right? It is nearing the end of December, or near the end of November, when I'm receiving this. So, But, this stuff is beautiful. I mean... Okay, although I'll admit that when I was ordering these, I had money. I had an income that was coming in, and I was like, sure, I'll get them all. And I'll get them all shiny, and it'll be very cool to show off. But looking at it from like more budget-minded, I don't think I would have gotten all of these foils. Definitely today, if this Secret Lair came up, I would not have bought all of these in foil. In part because, like, I don't need 4 copies of Mother of Runes in foil. But now I have them. Maybe I'll sell them. But this one is by Edua Edge Ebenebe. This one is by Rebecca Gay. Oh, lovely. Right. Rebecca Gay is a mother, and this is pretty unique among magic art when it comes to, you know, depicting motherhood. I don't think I've seen another magic art like that. And then we have Elliot Mitchell. Actually, yeah. Okay, Elliot Mitchell. Who's got kind of an anime style going on here. Reminds me of Final Fantasy art, the artist whose name I'm going to forget, and Livia Prima. So I thought I heard that all 4 of these artists are themselves mothers, and that was part of the theme. Rebecca Gay definitely is. Although you may have started to see art by Sam Gay showing up in Magic sets. And if you do not know, Sam Gay and Rebecca Gay are not related, even though their last name is spelled the same, and even though they're both magic artists now. It's kind of a long story, but let's see what the secret card on the back is. Panharmonicon. Awesome. So this is one of the blueprint cards I was talking about, like Leonardo da Vinci style. And I would love to be more excited about it because I know that it is valuable. But I know that they're going to continue to print more of these, as I already have a Panharmonicon in this style. So that's kind of funny that I got one that I already have when there's a series of, I don't know how many there are actually, but there's a series of artifacts that are in this style. It's still very cool, but now I think I'm looking to sell this probably. But I don't do a lot of stuff online, so I don't know. I live in the Portland area. If you live in the Portland area, hit me up one of these times. I'll post in the comments section. I never ask people to do that. I never ask people to post in the comments section. If you live in the Portland area, interested in buying anything, a lot of these cards I am interested in selling because I'm probably not going to use that many of them myself. Because oh yeah, that was a thing. That they offer a bulk discount. If I was going to order like 3 or half of these, then it was worth my while to just order all of them and get the bulk discount, because it ends up getting like more than one of them free, if I remember right. And then we have, okay, so this is, what did I say? Fiona Staples. And I believe she is a comic book artist. So we have here Soulscar Mage, which is a card I do not play in anything. Oh, good. The glue came off a little easier that time. Thank God. Okay. But let's see what's in the rest of here. I'm Mother of Runes is not a card that I play currently in any deck, although I could see myself playing one in one deck at some point. It's not a like worthless card for Commander, and you know, if this is your first time coming to my channel, if it wasn't already obvious, I am primarily a Commander player. I should basically say exclusively. I am exclusively a Commander player. That's the format I care about. So if these don't have usefulness in Commander, then I'm not super interested in them. Oh, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Super sexy Dryad. Well, I mean, this one gets Commander play for sure. Somewhat valuable even in the normal version, if I remember right. 3 mana, 2/4. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types. Yeah, I mean, land matters decks. This is sick. And we got a full art foil here. This is really cool. Enchantment creature, Nymph Dryad. Yeah. And actually, does this not look like the style of art that was used in the video game Hades? Because this so reminds me of Hades. Not continuing on. Sakura Tribe Elder, that's one of the reasons why I was interested in this one. I love Sakura Tribe Elder. I still play it in decks, in Commander. So nice to see another version of it. Spell Queller, not a card that I normally play, but has some usefulness. And Metallic Mimic is absolutely a card that I play. I have like 4 or 5 tribal decks, so this could go in any or many of them. So great. In fact, well, it looks like a goblin pirate. I don't have a goblin or pirate deck. I do have a vampire deck that I think I play Metallic Mimic in. So I don't know if I want to cut the Metallic Mimic in the vampire deck for what looks like a goblin pirate, but I'll sneak it into one of them. And the secret card on the back is a Stained Glass Planeswalker, which, I'm sorry, just these are not going to thrill me anymore. Not just because I've got a bunch of them, not just because, you know, they printed these back in 2019. Yeah, can you see that? 2019. So this is a 2-year-old uncommon that they gave me. Cool. 2-year-old uncommon that I already have 1 or 2 of, because I've actually bought a lot of Secret Lairs. Not quite half. I don't think I've bought half the Secret Lairs they put out, but I think I bought a third. Okay, what have I got next? Artist Series Mark Poole. Okay, Mark Poole, that name rings a bell. I might be able to recognize his art style when I look at it here, but I did not do any research on these cards or these people before coming on camera today, so I'm relying strictly on my memory. Balance. Okay, yes, he is another one of the original Magic artists. I believe this is a printing of a couple of cards that he did back in the day with their original art, and a couple with new art by him. So Balance. He might have done the original art for Balance, perhaps, but we have new art for Balance, which is good because, you know, some art holds up to this day and some doesn't as well, and some you could only say holds up because it has some, you know, nostalgic kind of value to it. Mark Poole definitely has some nostalgic value going on for some of his art here. So Balance. We've got a man and a skeleton both gripping a sword inside a tree. Okay. And Brainstorm. Well, that's a card I play. In fact, wow. The secret is simply to know what you're going to do before you even see the possibilities. To know what you're going to do before you see the possibilities. You know what? People do talk about how do you brainstorm correctly, so much so that, you know, you could write a book on how to brainstorm. And yeah, I think with any competitive format, with any tournaments that I've played with tricky cards like this, you want to practice and practice and practice to the point where any combination that your deck can give you, you already know what you're going to do beforehand. When you have to make a decision like this on the fly, that's when you screw it up. So brainstorm. It's best to know what you're going to do before you even see what your options are. Counterspell. So, I believe this is the second foil printing of Counterspell with this art. The other foil printing is perhaps a Judge promo, or maybe it was an F&M foil. But either way, this original art is iconic to the point where I've seen people cosplay Counterspell Guy, even though we don't know who Counterspell Guy is. But it has very, very rarely been available in foil. So this is probably valuable. Birds of Paradise! Okay, yeah, this is another one of the pieces that got him famous. Since you're here listening to me jabber, I'll include, trivia along the way with all this stuff. This art for Birds of Paradise was commissioned for the card Volcanic Island. They asked Mark Poole to draw a volcanic island. He drew a volcanic island with birds in the front. And then Richard Garfield felt that the bird on this card was too prominent and that he needed to have, not any noticeable animals on the card for the land. And so he designed Birds of Paradise as one of the last cards to make it into Alpha around the art instead of the other way around. And that's one of the reasons why this card is quite powerful. Like above average, well above average for creatures in Alpha. In fact, is this the best creature in Alpha? Because of course you got your Black Lotuses, your Time Walks, your Moxen and stuff like that, your all that kind of stuff, Power 9 in Alpha. But most of the creatures are pretty bad. Sarah Angel was a bomb. Shivan Dragon was a bomb. Is Birds of Paradise the best creature in Alpha? In any case, this is the original art. It's iconic. And Howling Mine, that's another one from Alpha. I was just telling somebody the other day that in Alpha, they actually had 3 different kinds of artifacts. They had continuous artifacts, mono artifacts, and poly artifacts. And the difference between them was how you use them. So the text oftentimes was not super clear on what you did. The type was supposed to tell you that. Howling Mine was a continuous artifact, meaning that its effect is always going on unless it is tapped. Then there are poly artifacts, which you can tap to do whatever their effect is right then. Things like Disrupting Scepter, where you can tap it and pay some mana to make someone discard a card. But I believe they didn't include the tap symbol on it originally. You just had to know because it was a poly artifact that you have to tap it to use its effect. So there were some people back in the day that would just pay 3 mana and make someone discard a card and then just do that over and over again, and they discard the whole hand. And then there were mono artifacts, which the idea was you use them once. You still have to tap them, but then you also have to sacrifice them. So Black Lotus is a mono artifact. It had to be tapped and sacrificed in order to be used for mana. The Moxes are all poly artifacts that can be used multiple times, and Howling Mine is a continuous artifact. And they got rid of those types for future sets, and they no longer include types that have rules baggage built into them. They want that in the rules text. So from then on, cards like Howling Mine have rules text that says, if Howling Mine is untapped. So if you've ever wondered why it says that, it's to maintain rules continuity from the continuous artifacts from Alpha. And then if you see any cards that are new and not reprints from, say, Mirrodin block that have that same text, it's a throwback to the continuous artifacts of old. Oh, there's a Wasteland in here. Is Wasteland still $60? Wow, because I think Wasteland was the reason why I bought this. I'll play Brainstorm. I'll maybe play Birds of Paradise. I might even play Howling Mine. I'm definitely playing Wasteland. And is that a Library of Alexander that it's wastelanding? Or Alexandria? Yes, The library scrolls have long since crumbled into swirling desert sands. Yeah, this is Library of Alexandria, which I think might be another Mark Poole card, and a member of the Power 9, and one of the most powerful lands ever printed. I believe that one just taps to draw you a card as long as you have 7 or more cards in hand. Anyway, spent a long time on this one. The secret card is Brainstorm again? Huh. Well, wait a second here. This is a little different, though. Brainstorm. Okay, this is like sketch Brainstorm? Oh, and it's curled. It's curvy. I don't know if that comes across here, but it is not flat. The secret is something. Huh. Porlemico, Mind Mage. Porlemico. Oh my god. Wait a second. Is this guy isn't Counterspell guy, is it? No, this can't be Counterspell guy. No. Counterspell guy has like ginger hair, yellow and green outfit. This is a different guy. Okay. But it's Porlemico, which I believe is a anagram of Mark Poole. They used to do that back in the day with Navinral being Larry Niven, or Feldegriff being Garfield PhD. Lots of anagrams of one person's names, making a character in the set. But yeah, it's kind of like black and white Brainstorm. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I prefer the colored one that I'm probably going to actually play in a deck. This version of Brainstorm. Hell, maybe I'll sell it. Honestly, I could use the money these days. I talked about how I ordered these when I had a lot of income, and currently I do not. So, yeah, I'm probably interested in selling some of these. So I'm going to end with the Fyrexian ones, but I've still got 2 left here. Jen Bartel, whose name does not ring a bell for me once again. So let's rediscover Jen Bartel. I'm going to remember some things about her once I've seen the art, I imagine. Let's see. Okay. Did I say before that the other artist was a comic book artist? Because maybe this is the one that was a comic book artist. Either way, Mace Enchantress, very popular Enchantress deck card in Commander. I personally don't own an Enchantress style deck because I found those decks to be very samey and boring, and often lack in win conditions. They just focus on like lockdown and stacks and stuff generally. Not into that so much, but Mace Enchantress is cool and good. Archaeomancer, wow. Yeah. That style. Can you focus? Is it focused? Focus. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah, very cool. Electric Runes. Bloom Tender. I think this is the one that was just worth it. Bloom Tender is very valuable, hard to find. It was, I believe, originally an Eventide rare, and lots of cards from that set are hard to find. And Meteor Golem. Yeah, I definitely didn't buy this one for Meteor Golem. Honestly, I'm not as much of a fan of the art on this one either. It's fine, I guess. But Bloom Tender is neat. Mace Enchantress is beautiful. Archaeomancer is beautiful. Yeah. Okay, and the secret bonus card is Plains. You know, I did hear some people complaining, actually, that they were getting basic lands as the bonus card in the back of these packs. They're like, I could get a... Did I mention, by the way, that Viscera Seer, the 77 out of 100? it sold at auction for $5,000. That's a big part of why I want to open one. But this, you're like, why do I care about a foil planes? Is this new art? Technically, no. This art is from Jumpstart, I believe. And it's from one of the themes. I think this one might be the enchantment theme, maybe to go along with Mason Enchantress. Because you can kind of see the star field of Nyx in the background. So I'm thinking that's what this is it's the enchantment themed Jumpstart planes. And each Jumpstart deck had one unique basic land, but all Jumpstart cards are non-foil. So that's what's special about this. This is the only way to get this art in foil. There's a cat-themed forest and a dinosaur-themed forest. I actually bought the dinosaur-themed forest a few months ago for my dinosaur deck. But it stands out because it's possibly the only non-foil basic in that deck or any of my decks, because I've been playing Magic for a long time, guys. I've got a lot of foil basics, infinite foil basics. I've got right on the table right now. I got a foil swamp, foil mountain, foil swamp. Oh, look at that! Full art from another set, full art from another set. Yep, full art, foil basics. Until the cows come home here. So that's just what I have within arm's reach. So why do I play a non-foil? Wait, is that a different font? What are they doing here? It's okay. It's been the same font on all the rest of them, right? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, this is the Saturday morning D&D one. This must be a reference, like a throwback font kind of thing. Okay, he just did a different font for Saturday morning D&D. All right. Well, regardless. And I did not grow up on this cartoon show, actually, so I don't have first-hand nostalgia on this. I have played D&D and enjoyed it. Unbreakable Formation. I've forgotten, of course, the cards that are in these packs, as I mentioned. Unbreakable Formation, I do currently play in my Vampire deck. Because, of course, it is a go-wide deck. I like to be able to attack every turn willy-nilly. And this is, a 3-mana instant that, if I play it at sorcery speed, allows me to attack with no fear. With everything. Yeah, because let's look at it here. 3 mana, instant. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. So you can play it defensively against board wipes, which is one of your biggest fears when you are playing a go-wide deck, is the board wipe. But if you play it at sorcery speed, with the addendum ability triggers, if you cast a spell during your main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance until end of turn. So, it does all of those things. You do it on your opponent's turn, it saves you from a board wipe. You do it on your turn, your creatures can't die, basically. They all get permanent boosts of +1/+1 counters, and they gain vigilance, so they can attack and still stay back as blockers. It's beautiful. Perfect for a go-wide deck. Whir of Invention. I heard that they couldn't simply use still frames from the original cartoon. But they didn't entirely commission new art. Instead, they took still frames from the original cartoon and had this artist, Tyler Walpole, who I think they said was the original artist on the cartoon in the first place, to then go in and draw over the old frames in Illustrator or whatever, to redraw the lines, redo the colors, and then make them so that they could be cropped tall. To reframe them and to add a little bit more, pizzazz to them. So these are souped up frames from the show. Oh yeah, Hero's Downfall. I don't know if I play that in any of my decks currently, but I'd say this is Commander playable. Yeah, and the art on this is really cool. I like this. He's out here pondering his orb, you know. Impact Tremors. Now that I do play in a deck, and I believe I have... It's one of my most powerful decks. CEDH, but I have just like a non-foil common there. So maybe I will throw this in there. That should be fun. Primal Vigor. So that's, you know, the doubling season we have at home, as it were. Come on. There we go. But I like the art on it. The Frog Warriors here are kind of cool. I just hate that it says that it helps your opponent's creatures too. Commander Sphere. Despite the like creepy little goblin man in the middle here a little bit, he's not that creepy. I kind of love this. I love how colorful this is. Can I get it in focus though? Not particularly. There. No, now it's gone again. There. I think, you know what? Oh, it's Bruce. Bruce has been messing me up the whole time. Oh, Bruce. It keeps, you know, the algorithm in my phone keeps seeing Bruce's face and wanting to focus on him. Well, I can't blame it. Bruce is awesome. But yeah, Commander Sphere. I will probably be playing this version of Commander Sphere instead of the normal version in any deck I do play Commander Sphere. And I do still play it in some decks. I know that some people have, pushed on to 2-mana rocks exclusively. But for a 5-mana commander, I like having 3-mana rocks. And also in decks that need the card draw kind of desperately, I like being able to, sack a rock for a card. Anyway, the secret is crashed through, which is some My Little Pony shit going on here. Okay. So it's another, I think, a common. It's curled. It's using art that I'm not particularly fond of. It's a card that sees virtually no play in Commander. The fact that it's a 1-mana red spell that draws a card has some use. But, whew, okay, I'm not thrilled by that being my super secret bonus card. But, we're coming up on the end finally. One secret layer left. It's the one that I accidentally started opening before realizing, of course, I should be filming this. Of course, I should be generating more content for my channel. Of course. That's... whatever that says. By the way, there is a translation from these into English. That text is not nonsense. There is a key that you could find to decrypt these. I do not know it. I do not have it. But that's how they're able to make cards like beautiful, beautiful Elesh Norn. Genuinely beautiful. I love the art for Elesh Norn in particular. Let me get her out of here. Now, I usually personally have a policy against using foreign language cards. I pretty much only speak English. I know a few words of a few other languages here and there, but I pretty much only know English. My opponents generally only know English, and I feel like I can't assume that they will know with clarity what any cards that I play say unless they are in English, what they do unless they're in English. But I love this Fyrexian border that they did here with the spikes and stuff on it. And let's see, Elesh Norn. Let's see if I've got it. Elesh Norn, I think it's Grand Cenobite. And it's a legendary creature which used to be just a Praetor, but now has been arrived to be a Phyrexian Praetor. So all these are Phyrexians. It has Vigilance. It is a 4/7, which that's an interesting font for the power and toughness. Yeah, it has Vigilance. Creatures you control get... in fact, I think you can see in there's some vaguely English text. Somewhere in there is like a +2/+2 and a -2/-2. Ah. Right there. +2. Oh, but you see it's this way. +2, +2. Over here, -2, -2. Because Fyrexian, I guess, is written this way. So yeah, creatures you control get +2, +2. Creatures your opponents control get -2, -2. And then the last part, I assume that has to be flavor text. Oh my god, that's flavor text. It's not written in English. Okay. Well, I don't know what it says, and now I'm curious. But then we've got Jin-Gitaxias the Core Augur, which I believe has flash, although that is a long word for flash. And I believe it says at the beginning of your end step, you draw 7 additional cards, and each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7? Something like that. Aldrid the Whispering One has a Swamp Walk, of all things, and says at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, they sacrifice a creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, you return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Urabrask the Hidden, I believe doesn't have any keyword abilities of its own, but says creatures you control have haste, and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. It's the cheapest of the Praetors. And then Vorinclex, somehow even more salt-worthy than any of the rest, has Trample. I believe it's the Hungering one or something like that, Voracious one. And it says, whenever you tap a land for mana, you produce an additional mana of that color. Whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, they skip untapping it during their next untap step. So, brutal cards. All of them very powerful, very cool, probably valuable. Despite not being in English. And my secret card, okay, it was the Fyrexian Swamp, which is good. It's no numbered foil Viscera, but the Fyrexian foil Swamp is very cool. I remember when Jumpstart came out, all the basics were selling for like $1 or $2 a piece, and then this one was selling for like $20, because it was the only basic land I think ever printed like this. I think it was the only card printed in Fyrexian text at the time, and now they've added a few more. Although Elesh Norn, I think this is the second time she's been printed with Fyrexian text. The first was like a Judge promo or something. But, okay. I was hoping to get a 1 in 100 Viscera Seer, especially considering, you know, bought this many Secret Lairs from these folks. There. Wow. Fits perfectly in the camera here. Bought all these Secret Lairs, all foil. Didn't get a Viscera Seer for my trouble. They didn't want to pay me $5,000. I don't know why. Oh well. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, some of which will be showing up in my decks soon. Next time I make it to a game store, some people will be seeing those firsthand. Others, honestly, you know, once again, if you live in the Portland area or whatever, interested in buying some of these off of me at the secondary market, you know, yeah, I might be interested in selling some of these, especially the ones that I talked about in the video, not having a place for. But, you know, we can talk, so start in the comments. And other than that, I think I need to wrap things up here. I have enjoyed talking to you all again, and I intend to continue, certainly with every set that comes out. I'll be buying more Magic cards, but I'm going to be looking for more content to be creating in the downtime in between. I also may be streaming more on my Twitch channel, which is QMax4 on Twitch, where I've done some Arena in the past, and I will most likely do some again. Other than that, I'm glad you came. Hope you stick around, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.